Welcome to Satsang. Awareness. Just to show you that one is always aware. When you say, I've done this, I don't do this, you know it very well. Something is aware of what I does or does not. So what is self-awareness? Means who you are in reality. And that can be realized the moment you don't try to touch at the awareness, but the moment you don't touch the object of the awareness. That's why it's called self-awareness, who you are. It's just to say it's awareness that you can never objectify, otherwise you are aware of again. And the confusion is with the actions or non-actions of I and its world, its objects. So surely it's not to be searched who you are. It is just maybe to take it that you are awareness itself, or you may not even name it. All the rest are objects which created confusion. But if you hear who you are is the awareness, things are put into their proper place. Whatever you are aware of is of your mind or of your body. It is not of who you are. And called self-awareness is not that the self will be aware, it's just a way to say self or just awareness. It is to show that there is no of, there is no object of confusion here. And the confusion is only in the appearances. Is only in the talk or comments of the mind. If you like to say more or less, you please tell. Yeah.
I would like to make a question for you. Sat, Chit, Ananda.
Ask me something. What is it? Is Sat Chit and Ananda.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
It's exactly the subject which cannot be elaborate. Otherwise, they become experiences. Sat Chit Ananda is an indication of kind of completeness. Who you are, you have not to search for it. It's just complete in itself. There is Sat. Knowledge means total consciousness. Chit, it's Chit, the consciousness. There is Sat, it's real, reality.
Being.
Chit, the consciousness, the awareness. Ananda, natural joy. Which in fact is because there is such Chit Ananda not experienced. You cannot experience it. Now, if you experience it, you have to accept I have a direct wave of myself, which could be that, but it's a wave. It's an experience which was not there before and which will not last. So Satchitananda I can, of course, accept as the same indication as self-awareness. Who you are, of course, once you realize it, there is the unsatisfaction went, the longing for being yourself or searching something left. So it's peace. There is a peace to express in words we know. You are tranquil. When you are tranquil, even in the human range of experiences, when you are tranquil, you are happy. And there is a self-knowledge which springs out, or it is through silence, or it is through indications.
But is that what you are?
Yeah, you can say so, if you don't take what is experienced for it. So you cannot make it out what it is. If you make it out, if you know it, it's an experience, an aspect.
But yet you are, and you know that you are, and you are always. You cannot cease to be, and you cannot cease to know that you are. So
that knowledge itself may not be there all the time. Huh? I mean, I know I am, no.
Before I can be something, or I can engage myself in some experience.
In realization, you know. You have a split second of total knowledge of who you are. That's called realization. But that's an experience which ends up all traces or vasanas or tendencies to search. So the mind doesn't even take it as a subject, as an object of talk. This is gone. This is gone. Self-realization doesn't need to be. It's not like a mantra. You may not have wanted to say that, but still, that you know you are. You see, it becomes like a mantra. It doesn't need that. You see, it doesn't need in Becky, how you call it? Crutch. It doesn't need crutches. So even to know who I am really is a crutch, except at the moment of self-realization, as I say, it's an experience. You will never be permanently like in that split second of realization. It's an experience. And yet, because of that, you stop to make yourself an experience, to confuse yourself for an experience. So, who I am. But the search is stop to know who I am. That is the beauty. It's not that I found who I am. The search, the mind surrendered because I am what I am, which doesn't mean anything. I would prefer to express this way.
So the suffering, the suffering,
The what?
the suffering of the
Suffering.
Suffering.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No. I thought soft reading. Soft reading. What could it be? Okay. Sorry. Yes.
Sorry.
Suffering. Yeah.
The suffering of the discriminating mind that I like this, I don't like this, the choosing, it will disappear, this psychological mind.
How can it disappear if your mind appears? What is mind psychology? Disappearances?
So this is what is still there.
But if there is an appearance, you see, if you still see the world, some realized people, and there is a big debate among pundits, say the world doesn't exist anymore. I would never say so, so I am from the other opinion, which who cares who is right. So it's not that the world doesn't exist anymore, it appears as long as this body and mind is alive. Okay, in this appearance, of course, what is an appearance? Duality. There is pleasure and pain. In the body. In the body, yes. I've seen lately. In the mind.
In the mind.
You can, of course, you can have situations where you suddenly are frustrated. But you don't make a thing out of it. Something is experienced, you don't feed it. It's just dropped. It's not a process, it's just natural. It's naturally dropped. It belongs to this manifestation. Otherwise, you would fall into that heresy to think the manifestation is not the reflect of the self now, because there is suffering and all that. So the manifestation has to be the reflect of the self, means only Satchitananda. It's an heresy. It's a wrong view, absolutely. Duality, if it appears, duality means duality. It is bound to have this and that. Opposites. Bound. Otherwise it doesn't appear. So,
but isn't outer reality a mirror of the inner?
a mirror. There is no mirror.
There is no mirror.
There is no mirror. There is no mirror.
No projection. It's just there.
It's yourself. Everything is yourself.
Well-
If one speaks of projection, it's because he's still not. He's still confusing himself with something. Yeah.
Still identifying with the author.
Yeah. Doer, author, yeah, creator. Sure. That was the famous sentence of Wineng, one of those great patriarchs. The master had to die, and he asked a few disciples to write a sentence, the sentence he would select, then the one who will get the robe and the ball. And one who was taken for the one, the son, spiritual son, very dangerous. He said, he spoke about mirror, the mirror, the self and the reflection in the mirror, perfect. And Wineng was the cook of the master. Nobody looks at the cook. He had no court around who would care about a cook. He wrote something that was read last. Said, why should you think you have to remove the dust in the mirror to realize yourself? There is no mirror. He was chosen. There is no mirror. All those images you see are wrong. But when we place ourselves somewhere, some images look fitting, so they are taken for real. And then taken for real, it becomes a concept, and then you run to fit the concept you have of the real thing, and this is the whole drama. So there is no mirror. There is only who you are. The mistake was to take what we see for something else, and that was the problem, because it is the mind who sees. Then he has to see in split. He is split. Mind sees only in two. In two.
And if you don't see in two, you are what seems to be what you see.
Yeah.
You are everything in a sense.
Then you stop here and you never ask me another question.
Thank you.
But the eyes always see two.
What?
The eyes, the senses will always see two.
The eyes always see two.
See two. Mr. See two. So I'm very happy. It is absolutely ungraspable.
It's better to close the eyes.
Oh, if you close them, it means you have eyes. You see, all the time we confuse for the body and the mind. This is the thing. What is the problem to close or open? Absolutely not. But the problem is that one is identified with the body, and then the experiences from the outside he has to shut, then he will have experiences from the inside which looks more real, and so on. And all that is a imagination based on what? the first sentence, the first conviction, I am the body and the mind. That's why this has to directly be questioned if when one starts to really see this is the point. Yeah. So I'm aware of that talk. And those who are convinced of something, they are aware, otherwise how the conviction comes. I'm aware, I think so, I'm very proud of it, so it becomes a conviction. But then there is aware of something. So you just cut off from anything you glue at it, what happens?
I'm going to try to elaborate it. That's a question. Because sometimes it happens here in some satsangs
Yeah.
that you say to me or somebody else, you've been there, you passed there. 1 minute ago you was there. Why you are not more there? And joining that with phrase you used to say that a split second on that is enough. Why that is not enough? To realize
Because,
it?
you know why? Because your mind has not been demystified.
But you've been there 1 split second or not?
We are always there. Listen, we are always ourselves. So what happens that one searches or doesn't realize it? Because he's engaged in the mind, thinking the mind and the body is its reality. Okay? Now, to try to unglue yourself from this so-called veil. It is because of your belief that it's a veil. To unglue you from this belief, one of the best way is to drop beliefs. And when you touch the basic belief, I am the body and the mind, if you can drop that, and what is a dropping of an idea? A split second. You are alone. You are alone as yourself, as you are always, but without confusion. You don't grasp, still, at that moment, you don't grasp your belief. You go back to your belief, you have not been aware of that, because the mind got the habit to be believed. Any suggestion of the mind, you will still go there. If you demystified it enough before, even, because it will happen if you are still alive, this mind presenting something, you will not go there. You will say, you don't fool me now. You don't fool me enough. And that may take some time, and then you don't even need these drops by itself. But if you don't, if you are not aware that when you are unglued, it's what you search after all. Because you think it has to be an experience, you think it has to be something, according to your own concept. Is it clear? And where are you now?
I don't know where I am. No.
1 minute. 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 1
clear to me, but I think it's not yet clear. Otherwise, I would
You
not-
think, and if you don't think,
If I don't think.
yeah, please, don't think. Then I want to see where you are not clear.
But the thing is,
Huh?
the thing is,
What the thing is, have you tried? You don't think. Don't think. You heard already I said that. Don't enter into thinking. Don't think. What happens then? Maybe it is the answer of all your questions. Why you want to avoid that? Don't think. Where is unclear? Where is clear? Hmm?
I don't think I cannot reply to you.
You want to be clever. You want to be clever.
No.
Mm. You see, the answer I ask is that you just keep quiet forever. I don't ask you words. You always mistake. I don't address myself, I don't address to your mind. I address at the source of your mind. I don't need your answer. I want your real answer. It's not a debate, yeah? It's not an exchange of opinions. A satsang is to throw you back, but so that you are conscious, in your consciousness itself, which is always there. But you make it an object. This is the whole trouble. What makes it an object? To think. So don't think. Hmm? Now to speak again, you may not hear as you like. To speak again about that split second, it's like, I always take the same example. I find it quite talkative by itself. You are at the bank of the Ganga. That's your world. You have a platform. I am, as somebody, I am searching. Then for some reason you trust somebody who says, you know, you have to leave the bank. You have to leave this idea of body and mind to just dip in the Ganga, in yourself. It's an image, so it's not exactly like that. It's still more simple. Okay, so what you do, wow, you have this blessed risk that you take. You plunge, you dip in the Ganga. You are wet, completely wet. Suddenly, very quickly, I left the fire in my kitchen. My house will be burned, and you go back to the bank, go back to the mind, suggesting you something. Glimpse. It's an experience. You made it an experience. You will compare. I was dry on the bank. I've been wet in the Ganga. Now I am drying again. Experiences, you see. You go back to the mind. Why? Because the mind has not been killed by your extreme desire for freedom. Means I will not listen to you anymore now. You see?
That's in that moment.
I think I'm clear.
Yes.
Yes. So it was an illusion that there are banks. There are no banks. There is nowhere to go back. When that enters in your cocoa, then you stay in the water. And you see that there was never something else. This is the thing, you see. That's why we come to satsang for years, because that cocoa is very hard. You see, he doesn't want to learn his lesson. So it takes years, but doesn't matter. At least, oblige yourself to realize it before you die. Still good. The bank.
$1 million.
Ganga,
Yes.
one often hears the koan, I am something, I am nothing, I am everything. Can we inquire into that, please?
I don't think so. It's a song. It's a song after the split second. Can you inquire about poems and songs? You just love it as it is. And if you are an intellectual, everything, I'm everything, because everything is myself. There is nothing else than the self. Even this appearance comes from me. So it's of the same nature. Everything. So the something, what was it? I'm something.
Can you please say again?
This I don't know. I'm nothing. Nothing. The mind, what can he say? He cannot grasp anything. He will say, I'm nothing. Bon, but the mind speaks, I'm nothing. So he feels, okay, who you are, say, no, that is not enough to say. So I am something. I'm also the wave. Oh, I am everything. I'm nothing and everything. And something. Sorry. Makes it real, everything.
The way I see it, is that all right if I describe it so you can...
We'll see. Start.
It starts with I am something. I am something.
Yes,
So,
I am something.
I am my body, I am my mind. So that's the starting point. Then
Yeah,
it shifts,
an épélé.
it shifts to I am nothing. So I'm not my body, I'm not my thoughts because they come and go. I'm the one who experiences it. So I am nothing. I am nothing of the body, nothing of the thought,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
understood.
nothing that my mind presents me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a split. But
Yeah?
But in this state, we're still in duality.
Where is the split?
The split is the one who sees, the one who experiences, and the thoughts, the body, the mind who is experienced. So we have a split. in this
No, I
state.
don't see that way.
No?
When you say I'm nothing, there is no split anymore. Because you say nothing because I and the body and mind disappear.
But you,
So
you
where is
feel
this?
something because
Huh?
you still
Well, I think...
being and knowing is still something. It's too much. It's being and knowing.
Yeah, then let's
And you are
not
there.
speak about it. Yeah.
But
Too much.
my question is,
Too
how do you shift from? being-
There is no shift. That's why I try to say, you see. There is no bank of the Ganga. We think there is a bank, that's why we search, and so there must be a Ganga and so on. Actually, when you are yourself, you have seen what an imagination. There is no shift. It's because we placed ourselves somewhere wrong. As I am the body and the mind, that is the platform, or I am born, it's the same. Huh? That is the platform, but actually it's part of the imagination. So we cannot speak of a shift. There is a shift for the mind, because it disappears as a power of suggestion. But you see, otherwise, if you say that the shift was real, then it's like the man who speaks of the mirror. The mirror is real, you see. And then when it's perfect, and then it reflects perfectly what it is. There is no shift. It is because of our wrong imagination, of our wrong view, that it looks there is a shift. It looks that there is something like realization. Why speak of split second? It is part of the imagination, because I speak of a mind which is in imagination. Otherwise, why satsang? There is no clue why to have satsang. If everything is myself, why should we have satsang? We have satsang because there is someone who understands a veiled mind, because he went there and for some reason he can indicate. But all this is an imagination, really, because it is as if I was believing you who say, I'm still searching, I'm longing, I'm not myself. It is the mind of that one who declares, but it's not true. So there is no shift. We have always been
It's a
ourselves.
perception.
Oh, but listen. I like to keep my language. If you want to keep another language, it's your right. But then I don't want to confuse my friend. Perception. But of course, everything is a perception if we speak and suggest things. There is no shift. Otherwise, I again accept, okay, I feel one day I was not free, and now I am free. You see, to speak like that is to go in the history of somebody. Then he speaks of even this moment of before realization and after. But it's not a true language. This is not to speak of what's real. What's real is, it has always been like this. So it's part of the imagination, and of course, together, if somebody asks you, what was your life? Life, okay, there are many things to say, but then it's not about reality.
I perfectly understand what you
Okay.
say. But you're talking about, you're talking from what I call the last stage. You're talking from awareness perspective.
Only.
That's what you're talking. But you had a starting point. You didn't born, and then you realized. You made a path.
Yes,
You
my
went
dear, but
through
I
several
will not
stages.
give that imagination to my friends who already carry their imagination. If there is nobody to tell, listen, I have no journey. If there is no, I had never a journey. It was my pure imagination. When we will hear it? When? Because in a normal communication, of course, there is a life, there was a journey, and so and so. But listen, someone has at least to remind, listen, never speak anymore about your life, which is full of events, even it starts with the birth. But then, what do you want this life? I want freedom. I want to know who I am really. Then you have to start differently. You have to speak differently, another language. Otherwise, you see, you reinforce what is already been so much believed in of a journey, and suddenly it stopped and this and that. It's not correct. So that's why there is no compromise in satsang. It's only to throw you back where you already are, and to tell throwing is not real, but it's for the one who still believes so. Then at least with this throwing back, reminding, one day will realize himself, where I was, what I was doing, you see.
You are confusing yourself with something, and then you are nothing, and then perhaps you realize you are everything.
Yeah, but it doesn't help anybody to say so when you are in satsang. You can say so in your talk with someone. If it is satsang, it doesn't help anybody to say so.
I have no one to
Like in
speak
the
about
scriptures, if
Oh.
you read those things in the
Oh, in
scriptures,
satsang.
what a seeker can make it out? Nothing. He can make nothing. Everybody reads Nisargadatta Maharaj, Ramana Maharishi, all those great Buddhas, you see. What they make it by themselves, they cannot realize, because they take those fantastic sentences, they cannot make it out of in themselves. What it touches, what is veiling me, it doesn't tell.
But that's my question. How do you shift from one stage to another?
When you don't shift anymore, where is my bottle?
Under the
Good, there's no coffee.
Maybe it quietens me, that coffee. Next time you should bring one.
And another thing, for me, there's no place to ask this kind of questions. If I ask these questions outside of this circle, probably I'll be locked up. Well, people will think.
No, don't worry. It doesn't come to speak like this.
So I think this is the right place to ask the question.
No, but you think I'm not happy? I'm just furious. That's very good experience. I understand. Satsang is a wonderful place to speak. You see, it should not just fall into arguments. That's all. But it's the right. If it is, what is your problem? Because now, so that it doesn't fall into an exchange of something. So, do you have really something which is something you want to clarify more? If so, from now, I will reply. If not,
But I do have.
then why don't you listen? Okay, but then, so where are you left now?
I am left in that crossroads where you can have a perception of yourself, detached from thoughts, detached from feelings. You are the one who feel, who experience it.
Okay, dear,
That's where I am.
Okay,
But,
then
but then I cannot conceive that that I am made of the same thing as this door.
no,
as
the
you
conception
are.
you cannot have. That's what it. Listen, it is said. No, it's inconceivable. You know that word? You heard about it? Who you really are is inconceivable. It's true that so far it's conceivable. All that is an illusion. I know who I am. Still conceivable. You agree?
Yes.
You go a step farther, you cannot conceive. Very right. Now, to drop that difficulty, you even drop the experience that this is an illusion, which is linked to the experience I'm myself, means I'm the absolute. You just drop those two experiences because it still belongs to I. Who you really are is totally inconceivable. And yet it will make you say the self only is. And it includes everything. You see? So just drop. Just drop this idea, I am, I know myself. Without catching, I'm not myself. You don't catch anything now. From now, you don't catch anything.
Ganga, can you say something about the final step?
The what?
The final step?
Final step? It doesn't exist. There's no steps. You speak of final because you believed in all the steps you did before. So you believed that you were not yourself, and you had to make a journey to eventually come to this point of realizing yourself. The realization of yourself is the moment you don't consider steps, and so, of course, the final step into consideration, because it's just imagination. No step, you are yourself. For that, you have not to listen to your mind. Hmm?
What I do is
But don't listen to your mind. Yes, that's a good position. Yes. Yes. But don't you see that with your mind you will endlessly ask for the final. You will endlessly go into from one suggestion to another. Don't you see that? If you say but, even if you are so smart, you will start a sentence without a but you enter into your mind. And because of the mind we search, because of the mind we need clarity, because of the mind we think we are born. It's about the real nature of things. It's about what is. Let it be for human beings, for everything, for trees, for animals, for the universe, for anything. It's about that. That was a big demand. It was not just a small thing, oh, like a sugar, I want that chocolate. No. No. So, you don't think? You have to think if you don't think.
if I don't think where I was thinking where am I?
But why? Who is asking where I am? Who is asking? You don't know what is mind yet. Who is asking where I am? What is this? A thought that you catch. Be freed from the tyranny of thoughts. And then you will see. Then you will see. Hmm?
That's a purpose on your indication. When you see, suppose me, I've been there for a while, or I passed there.
No, you are there now.
Okay. I'm there now. That's a purpose in your indication. Well, but I think we try to make this indication conceivable, even if you try to point to inconceivable. What's the real objective of that indication? that somewhere it remains, and we try to, I don't know, just to try to, if you could tell me what's the purpose, the real purpose of that medication.
But you are coming here what for?
Yes, for that. But but the thing is, if I try to make that conceivable,
But I asked not to make conceivable. That's all I try to tell all the time. Don't make it conceivable. It's a thought. Then you make it a thought, and you will never get it.
And like I say to you, okay, I have that on my memory. I try to remember that. Thank you very much for that indication. And I'm trying to make that conceivable or not.
No, I don't ask you to do that.
No,
I
don't
ask you.
me.
At the moment I speak to you, I just want you to make you aware of your own awareness. And for that, if you listen to your mind, what will happen?
Conceivable.
Huh?
Conceivable.
But then you are stuck somewhere. Or if you are happy, you will come back after some time because you are not so happy or not satisfied, or it went, whatever. It was again a fake something.
I think I understood.
Okay, good. And what about Sam?
What I can do is look back.
Look back,
Yes. Look
because
back
you
and
were
look at
you were running somewhere that you have to look back. Remove those ideas.
Yeah, I was. I think so. I mean,
You think so? You think so?
if I'm getting caught up in something, I do this move.
Okay, then do it. I want to see.
Yeah.
It's very quick because this back is just where you already are, so it doesn't take time. You see the words. You don't call it back. Then there is never any more problem. But you call it back. So you keep, I run and I have to go back, and then mind. Okay. You see a bit better what's mind. The impositions of the mind.
Why do I still believe that I'm not free?
Because you believe in something else. You believe better I am born, or I am, I don't know, tell me what. You believe in something else more strongly. And that I want to root out. I try. It's not because you experience something in the body and the mind that it is real. It's part of the imagination. And probably you still give that quality to a few experiences. Oh, tell me why. Maybe because you ask why, then you enter into your mind. If you don't ask why, what happens? Tell! What happens? Okay. Don't go further. And stay here for a while without picking up something new. Ah, interesting. You see, the mind is like a young horse. He wants to gallop all the time, but okay, but the mind.
Yeah.
It's the mind. Let him gallop. Okay. You may feel uncomfortable because you have been always on that horse. When somebody asks you, you can just take rest and go down from that. And then suddenly, where is the horse? I'm not comfortable. This is the thing, huh? But don't worry. Don't worry. Yes.
Awareness can be assimilated.
Awareness can be simulated, assimilated
To see with the heart, or this is a misunderstanding myself.
with the. But this, you see, it becomes very complicated
Yeah.
then.
It's a complicated question. But it has a sense for me. It makes a sense.
So, what's your question? If it can be assimilated, by what?
It's a synonym or something.
No,
like that.
but by
To
the.
see with the heart instead of looking with the mind.
When you have no more seeing, that's the best. It doesn't need to be seen. It's because we want to see it that it becomes a concept. Awareness is there. Who cares if it is the heart, the no heart, the mind? This is the problem of the mind. We will not enter there. Already made you search. Hmm?
But if somehow the game takes place on the heart, what's that? It's just an experience. Then, more than one experience more.
Experience, yeah. Don't stop them, just see them as experiences. They go on changing. Who is aware of that? Who is aware of the change? Who is aware of what's going on? Who is aware of what's not going on? That's what you are. Why to direct experiences? All the experiences are of the same nature. Nothing. So, don't change them. Don't try to fix them.
You say that is a project first. You should just try to reply your words, but I think I've listened from you that or that realization is accompanied with joy. Where that joy is expressed, felt, is an experienced joy.
Yes?
It is felt on the human body, on the mind.
Yes? Yes.
That's expressed on mind, on the body, on the heart. Where? At the places. Because I think once you told something that I remember, that I must be seen, realized somewhere here. And you make that movement in front of your heart.
Oh, this I don't remember. This second hand is difficult to... Listen. Try to make it simple. If you still believe you are born, I have to tell you that whatever this body and mind experiences means all the experiences you know, they are experiences. It is not who you are. So, in order to realize who you are, don't take any experience for who you are. That's all. What happens after, you will tell me, and I will be very happy to hear how you can express whatever. I cannot compromise even with love and joy as an experience resented, known by somebody. I cannot compromise. It is not who you are. It's an aspect which will come and go.
And you would point that aspect.
I will not point out to that aspect. I try to point out from where it comes, means who you are, the one who is aware that I feel joy. Let it be direct, let it be indirect. It's all the same. It's an experience. Now, once you don't confuse yourself for an experience, everything is yourself, including joy too, of course. We are not there. No compromise. Otherwise, I am misleading you. You want that?
No, is why I ask.
Okay. So, don't try to push anything. A joy appears. Oh, no. Enjoy your joy. Don't fix it and don't have this comment. This is more real. This is more direct. It's direct from myself. Don't go into that. Be freed from the comments of the mind. You see? Okay.
Just observe it.
Yeah. You think?
I was thinking.
Ah,
Sometimes-
you want to go into your thinking? You know, I will tell you. It's now. What does it mean? It's now. You see, if you don't give yourself the opportunity just now, who cares about the state of your mind or whatever? It's just now. It will always be just now, and you will always be not ready in your mind, not enough this and that. But it is the fire. No, I want it. No. Just now. Because if you compromise with your mind, okay, now I just didn't solve all those little small or big questions and so on, so I still go, you give pleasure to your mind. But then you are not, at that moment, you are delaying, you are not serving the purpose of your coming or of even your birth to want to be freed from the tyranny of the mind. So it will always be just now. You understand? Because mind will always, try to hear that, it will always present you something. And don't worry, when you decide just now, it will bring you the best pearl it can conceive. Sure. So will you go there? No. No. Asa.
Anna, I want to ask you about the fire. What's the desire for freedom?
To define. Yeah.
About the fire.
Yeah, the fire,
About
yeah.
the fire.
Sorry.
And, and since you're mentioning, I see that my body has a strong experience of the fire, and in the mind, I also see it. But and since then, I want to ask you about it.
Yeah.
I can also see that this fire or this desire to be free is always there, so that it's nothing but is coming or going.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see all the other things with
Yeah.
I always ask who. So,
Yeah.
but I see now that there's all the time this desire. I never ask this. Somehow it's the same. It's something that belongs to the I, this desire.
And why do you think you are not free? Because you believe into your desire to be free. Why don't you think you are free? Or why don't you see that you are free?
Yeah. Because I trust what is prevented. and what is presented.
Yeah,
looks
so you
nice,
just
but
drop
I
it, then
feel
just drop. Then keep quieter than to go along all these things. When I say keep quiet, don't grasp them. Where are you going if you grasp them? In search.
At the moment it looks like that I'm not going, it's just that they are presented, so they appear and
But then don't worry about that. Who are you then? Who are you? You are the one who is presented or the one who is aware of that?
the second one.
Of course. Then keep quiet there. Nothing to do. There is no worry. Not to search. Search is ended. Bas.
Yeah, it's the expectation that
Ah, where do you go to say that?
yeah.
Ah. I say the search is over. Bas. I think I would have loved my master to say that once to me. What do you prefer? To go to what your mind says or to stay as you are? Okay. What's going on here, sir? More. Tell.
I don't know.
You are in conflict?
I mean, I see more that the thoughts create the situation,
right?
and it's not really, the situation is not really true. It's not really
Right.
as I, yeah, as the, yeah.
Mm. Okay. Apply that to everything.
And then what comes, it's like I don't see it through everything,
Mm.
but it's also another argument. But
Mm.
but still, I
So
don't know.
whatever is presented to you, it is the mind. It's a rule. It's 100% like that. So there is no exception. There is no much argument here. You just go on with that. There's no argument. It's just like that.
Mm.
Okay? Aha. Not now. Not now. We will only think about it. Welcome to Satsang. Oh, very nice. Everybody's there? Ah, no. A few missing. Yeah. Quieten down. Welcome to Satsang. You quieten down. On se calme. So be busy with yourself now. Just with yourself. On s'assied chacun en soi-même. On ne regarde pas. On ne sait pas s'il y a un voisin. On est seul avec soi-même. You are alone with yourself just for half a minute. You don't grasp anything that the body does or the mind. Just do like when you go for a sleep, quand vous allez vous dormir. How can you sleep? Hein, comment est-ce qu'on peut dormir? Hein? On peut dormir seulement quand on lâche tout. Même les choses les plus chères. On lâche tout. Pour dormir. Vous faites pareil ici. Vous ne dormez pas. Vous faites pareil ici. Vous lâchez tout. Juste une seconde. Vous lâchez absolument tout. Et c'est ce que vous êtes vraiment. It's what you really are. What's left when you ungrasp everything. Oh. Attila. Look at this. You said so well that you will have a perfect. Chalo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Buddha. Deux blancs. Il y a un noir. Un noir.
Un blanc et un brun.
Ben alors c'est ça. Afterwards you can. It's from Hungary. International from Hungary. Voilà. Ah, she will get through your milk. Who wants a toffee?
No.
Serves a toffee.
Ah? Who wants a toffee?
freedom is having a choice of not going to the thought. That's the word that came to me. What do you say to that?
Well, yeah, you can say. Why not? But you see, a thought, there is no problem with thoughts, huh? Except when you confuse yourself for a thought. So, when you confuse yourself for a thought, to desire freedom is to choose not to go to a thought. Once you are yourself in a realized way, let's say, who cares? It's the difference, you see, which makes suffer. It's this difference. There is something real, something illusory, and so on. It makes suffer. That's why one has to see, but from where this feeling of separation comes from?
So if you have a thought that's coming, that
No, but let me ask, you feel bound or not to speak like this?
Not bound.
Not bound.
No.
Then why you...
It just came to me.
So we can drop it too. We can also drop it then.
But there's one thing that I want to clarify. Maybe that's why it came. So you have the freedom not to go to the disturbing thought. But then...
I mean, you have the freedom when you desire to be free. When you desire to be free, you give yourself the freedom. I don't want to go to that thought, to at least not enter into the mind, with whom I confuse myself all the time.
But it's possible to have the thought just come and go away, come and go away, come and go away, and you see it coming and you see it's going, and it's like it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, but who are you? Who are you?
The watcher of the mind come and go.
Okay. So there is not a particular thought to be solved.
No, it just comes
so
and
no
goes.
particular thought to be clarified.
No, it just comes and goes, and there's no choice. No choice. It just comes and goes. Sometimes, you grab. Other times, just comes and go. No?
It's very hard to have definitions, huh? Who wants a definition? What for?
I'm just wondering if it's something different, these two things that's coming. One is that, don't go to that thought because it's very dangerous to go to that thought.
Yeah.
And the other one is, doesn't matter, just let them come. And then you don't grab it, it just goes away.
Yeah.
So why bother whether you have a choice or not? Because it comes and it goes and you don't get attached. There seems to be two ways.
But there are two ways when there is somebody. There are two ways when somebody is still taking itself for something. Otherwise, this talk doesn't rise, huh? Because you say, I don't feel bound. But, something has to be clarified. You see this, you see... Who is seeing that? Somebody. Maybe you don't feel bound, but you are still somebody. And that's why a few things Even though I don't feel bound, have to be clarified. It's very contradictory sentences. Many people say, "Oh no, I'm free," but this has to be. Why you say you are free then? I mean, you are not free. You don't know who you are. That's why you ask. Then I will reply to you. But if you say, "Okay, I'm not bound, and there are two ways and all that," to whom should I reply? To the seeker or to the realized one?
I was wondering, perhaps, what is the state of self-realized
Yeah, but then don't
person?
say, "I don't feel bound." Say, "I feel bound, and this is my view." Then I will reply you well. Otherwise, I am stopped in replying. My tongue is cut.
So the fact that there's a question means I am bound. That's what you're saying, yes?
It comes from somewhere, no?
Yes, somebody who wants to know.
Exactly. Yeah. So just see that and see if it is worth to clarify or it's better to realize.
Just curious.
Ah.
Just curious what the enlightened state is.
Curiosity, but first realize. Because with curiosity, it will be endless and it will be always limited answers. Always. You cannot make out what is realization. You cannot, never. Even the realized one cannot make out what it is. And yet, for years and years, from morning to night, one speaks about it, tries, it cannot make out what it is. So they never speak of that. They indicate, they speak of what's not, but they don't try to make a kind of description or philosophy or whatever. It's impossible. It's not appropriate. You see the great text I read, The Great Way. What is in there? Just don't do this, don't do that. They don't say what it is. They don't say, they just say what it's not. There is no today, no yesterday, no future, no this, no that. That's all. The text is like that. Don't think, don't this. They don't say what it is. Because it's never an object. Who you are never is an object. And when it's an object, it's the game of the mind. The owning of the mind, it's something else. Thank you very much.